Hi humans, it's still Hannah with a really ambitious August TBR. I don't know who I think I am. We're standing for today's video because the light's a little weird, so I'm trying to make it work. But the first book that I really want, well, it's not the first book that I want to read. I don't know which one I want to read first because I'm a mood reader. I don't know what just happened there. But the first one that I grabbed is Tomorrow, and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. Just because, I don't know. I really want to read this. It's meant to be a contemporary following two people's friendship as they build a video game together or something like that. And it's kind of like their relationship and it revolves around video games. I love weird little niche subjects like that where you follow characters that have very specific interests and how sometimes it's used as a device to compare the characters and their relationships and symbolize something larger. And I'm really hoping this does something similar, but everyone says it's really good. Some people say it's sad. I'm not looking forward to the sad part, but I am looking forward to something that moves me. I just want to read a book that feels, you know. And another book I have on August TBR is Five Survive by Holly Jackson because I loved Holly Jackson's trilogy, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I am considering keeping this one for fall because it's like I want to say crime and thriller at the same time. It's a thriller crime situation, but I do want something really fast paced, and The Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy was really fast paced, and I was just like kind of going through it. And this could be something like that. So I don't know. I don't even know too much about the actual synopsis beyond the fact that, you know, I don't really want, I don't want to know. I don't care. I just know that it's a Holly Jackson book. I loved her other series. And if this is anything like it, and everything's about to fall. If it's anything like it in the same fast-paced manner and in the way that it grips you and in the way that it's not very predictable, then I'm really excited to read it already. Then we have a really aesthetic book that I've been wanting to read forever, and it is Second Place by Rachel Cusk. I feel like Rachel Cusk is one of these it girl authors. I don't know too much about this beyond, or I do. Every time I read the synopsis and then I forget about it, but I don't care because I know that it's just a contemporary that I want to read and that it follows art. And I love books that have art as an element. I say this so much, but one of the characters I believe is an artist and the other one is maybe the muse of the artist, or like they interact in some sort of way. Again, I don't care, but I feel like this is such a summer book and I don't want to leave this for September. Like I want to make sure that I read it in August by the beach. I feel like it's just the vibe for it. And in a similar vein, in a similar air is Funny Weather, Art in an Emergency. I don't know why this also feels very summery, and it's like the kind of thing that I want to read by the beach. Can you see that? You can't see it too well against the light, but it's a nonfiction about the importance of art that I've been wanting to read for I think 2 years now, and I've had it since last summer or maybe a little bit before that, and I still haven't gotten to it, and I am determined to read it here in the summer, this month by the beach. Again, I just feel like it's the energy for it. And then we have another nonfiction, which is I Feel Bad About My Neck by, for a second, I was like, Dolly Alderton. No, it's Nora Ephron, but there's an introduction by Dolly Alderton, which is perfect because I loved Dolly Alderton's book, Everything I Know About Love, and I was looking for something in that same energy. And the fact that they made I know there's a blue cover, but the one that I have is the yellow cover, and the fact that they're both in a very similar aesthetic, I think is smart because it kind of attracts the same reader. But it's by Nora Ephron. She's the writer of things like You've Got Mail, and I think she even wrote When Harry Met Sally. I'm fairly certain. Like she wrote a lot of these fun 80s movies that I personally love, and I read a few lines of this when I was at a bookstore, and I just found it really funny. I thought that it's exactly the type of person, the type of thing that I want. It's like musings about women's insecurities, I believe, and also what it is to be a woman from what I remember. And other thoughts on being a woman. Yeah, that's it. It's pretty much what it is. And the fact that it's introduced by Dolly Alderton, I didn't even notice this, but this is perfect because this is the kind of tone that I was looking for. I was looking for something that would match that. And I do want to read more Dolly Alderton while we are on the subject of that. And then we have the first fantasy in this TBR. I don't read too much fantasy in the summer. I read fantasy all year round, but it's a lot less in the summer just because I like to prioritize my contemporaries and certain fun, comic, humorous nonfictions and whatnot. But this is Shorefall by Robert Jackson Bennett. It is book 2 in the Foundryside trilogy, which is a really interesting trilogy that follows a world where you can tell objects what to be and what to do by kind of inscribing a sort of code onto it. So for example, if there's a really heavy boulder, you can inscribe a certain magical code onto it to tell it to weigh as light as a feather, so that it makes it really easy to move around. And our main character is a thief who can do that herself. Like, she can hear the object speaking, and that's not normal. People have to use magic and a separate skill or talent, or there's like it's a thing that you learn, but she can just do it. It's like within her. And she is asked to steal an object that she doesn't know the worth of. She doesn't know how important it is. And by her doing that, and by her trying to do that, it kind of sets this wild sequence and series of events. And we kind of just follow that in the first book. And this, of course, because this is the second book, I can't tell you too much about it, but it basically just follows the events after what happens in the first book. But I've really been wanting to finish this trilogy this year. I actually also have book 3. I want to read this month, and then book 3 hopefully in September, and then just get the series out of the way. I like finishing series because I don't know, it just feels very satisfying to finish a series, because that means I can start a new series, and I don't like reading too many series at the same time. So a lot of ones that I really want to read are on hold until I at least get through some. And this is one of the shorter series on my list because it's a trilogy. Anyway, the last book we have is Patti Smith's book, Devotion. And this is meant to be Patti Smith's musings on writing. And I love reading about people writing about their craft, or learning about people talking about their craft, and kind of, again, anything creative, anything that has to do with creativity, art, whatever. I just enjoy it, whether it's in fiction and or nonfiction. And I've really been wanting to read this for a while, and it's really short. The text isn't overly small, so I'm hoping that I can get through this. I know there are a few too many books, but I don't know, some of them are short, some of them are fast-paced, and hopefully it all kind of balances out and I actually manage to get to them. I have no idea. But I'm kind of optimistic, despite having a lot of work to do, and 2 textbooky nonfiction books that I kind of wanted to get to in addition to an audiobook, but I'm not going to mention them. They're more like health and wellness things, things for work, things to deepen. So like studying, kind of things to deepen my understanding of the work that I do. But yeah, hopefully I get to this, and hopefully it's fun. I want a voice that inspires me and that I can kind of relate to, but is also fun. And yeah, these are the books that I really want to read in August. If you've read any of the things on my TBR, let me know what you thought of them, as I would love to know. And otherwise, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, because that really helps me out a lot. And if you want more content, you can click either video on the screen, and I'll see you in the next one.